Okay, yeah, I can see it from here, so that's good.
To the whole game? We're on, man.
And good evening, and welcome to the Weathers Winsel Center on the campus of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College in Perkinston, Mississippi. I'm Bill Snyder, and welcome to 2013. A little belated Happy New Year to you as the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College Bulldog basketball team gets ready to take on Delgado. First up, the Lady Bulldogs under head coach Melanie Stone, coming in at 8-3. Of course, they had that 3-week break at Christmas. They won 2 in a row before the break, and they're 5-0 at home, taking on Delgado. The Lady Dolphins are 9-5, and on an 8-game winning streak. We're about to have the starting lineups coming up here in just a few minutes, and we will have junior college basketball for you. This is one of our several video streams this spring. It's kind of an early spring. It's really winter, but you call it the spring semester. But we'll have a few of these this year. And right now, before we really get cranked up, here is our national anthem. Kind of in a crouching tiger. There we go. There we go.
Hidden Bill. Crouching Bill, hidden Crider.
And as we said, the starting lineups coming up here between the Lady Bulldogs and the Delgado Lady Dolphins. Back on November 6th in 2012, Gulf Coast went to Delgado and whipped the Lady Dolphins 82-46. Starting lineups for Delgado first: Lindsey Green, Jacqueline Breland, Raven Lyons, Kiara Jackson, and Allie Shepard. Starters for Gulf Coast: Shamika Hart, Mulaney Nikki Presley Owens, La Precious Thompson, and Marquia Nix. And what you're going to see from the Lady Bulldogs this evening is an up-tempo, aggressive pace. Coach Melanie Stone and the girls really like to run. And so far, it's worked out for them this year. They played really well at that Thanksgiving tournament, won 2 games there, and headed into the break with some momentum. They're 1-1 in division. Of course, the next division games will be Monday night against arch rival Pearl River. And you see the Bulldog cheerleaders and the other young ladies with them are the Dogwood Girl Scouts, local Girl Scout troop. So they're on to help out with the cheering the Lady Bulldogs on to victory. We welcome you wherever you're watching here on mgccbulldogs.com. And as we said, probably about 5 or 6 of these. Tonight is our test run, the Space Shuttle Enterprise, if you will, as opposed to the actual launch of Columbia, which would be next week. I'm going back in my Space Shuttle 1980s references there. Give you some current events as the lineups continue. You know what? Lindsay Lohan was a no-show in court today, just in case you were wondering about that. And, of course, today is Elvis's birthday. Usually I don't work on January 8th because it is Elvis's birthday, but we always make an exception for Gulf Coast. He would have been 78 years old today, and these types of useless pieces of information are really what you're going to hear a lot of this year from me when we're going solo. You see the ladies getting ready. Gulf Coast will be going left to right on your internet screen. So sit back, relax, and indulge in Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College basketball. Of course, here at Gulf Coast, we came back from the Christmas break on January 2nd. Students came back on Friday, so everybody's still getting into the swing of things. You see Presley Owens there from Van Cleve. Saw her 4 or 5 times over the Christmas break working out at the gym that I work out at E-Fitness, so she was in there getting ready. She said Marquia Nix was also working out, so the Lady Bulldogs hopefully can shake the rust off early and get a victory as they tune up for Mgccc South Division action. Delgado controls the tip. And that's Shepard, guarded by Mulaney Nicky. Out front's the Precious Thompson on Raven Lions. Over to the other side is Jacqueline Breland, and a steal. Taking it coast to coast for the layup off front iron. The trailer's Presley Owens. It goes out of bounds. Nicky had an easy layup, and we talked about shaking off the rust. That's a perfect example of it right there. Delgado will keep the ball. You see on the bottom right portion of your screen the scoreboard cam. We don't have a Fox box like the networks do, but we have a scoreboard cam, so you can keep up with the score, the running score, if you will. Delgado working, trying to get the first points of the game. That's Shepard, guarded by Shamika Hart. Shepard coming off a pick. Now taking the first shot for Delgado off the iron is Lions. Rebound to Gulf Coast and bringing it up quick, Shamika Hart. Shamika out to LaPrecious Thompson. P is her nickname. P over to Hart. Hart with a three-pointer. No iron. Mulaney with the rebound. Inside, Presley Owens double teamed, and a jump ball is called. The 3 players from Delgado collapsing on Presley, but Gulf Coast will retain possession. Opening moments here. No score between Gulf Coast and Delgado and MGCCC Bulldogs.com. Nicky with the inbounds pass out to the front to the Precious Thompson. The top of the key, Marquia Nix. Nix swings it over to Hart. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Hart back out to LaPrecious, and a foul is called right off the bat. And that one's on Delgado on Kiera Jackson. That's her first foul. And we'll inbound it again with a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock. Short pass to Marquia Nix, can't handle it, and Delgado takes over. So you see, lots of rust to be shaken off by both teams tonight. Gulf Coast hasn't played since way back in the early part of December. Both teams trying to get on the board. Allie Shepard, nice move, kicks it back outside to Lions. Lions over to Breland, and that shot way short, and Gulf Coast with the rebound. Still no score. Now they kick it inside. Presley Owens, fadeaway jumper. We've had no shots at the rim so far. Coming back the other way is Breland. That one does hit the rim. No good. Coming back the other way, it's Thompson. Out to Shamika Hart, and she walked. It'll be Delgado's ball. Early on, looks like it's going to take a while for everyone to get into the swing of things. No score. We played a little over 2 minutes. Delgado's head coach Edward Fields calling out instructions. He's assisted by Leslie Forrest. No score yet between the Lady Bulldogs and the Lady Dolphins. Now Shepard out front, guarded by Nicky. Kicking out to Breland. Breland outside to Lindsey Green. That shot no good. Rebound Gulf Coast and LaPrecious Thompson, and she'll bring it up. She tried to pass inside to Owens. It's knocked away, and Shepard takes control for Delgado. Now Lions with the shot, front iron, no good, coming the other way. Shamika Hart. Shamika, and yeah, that's what I thought. She did walk with it. So a lot of turnovers, a lot of air balls early on here. Let's see if we can get some offense going. But first, maybe a stop. Raven Lions, Delgado, out to Green. Lions guarded by LaPrecious Thompson. Green guarded by Nix. Now out front to Shepard. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And a foul will be called on LaPrecious Thompson as Lions jumps into her. And the Lions will shoot a couple of foul shots. Still no score. These could be the first points of the game. So if you took the under in this game, you're looking good so far. First foul shot is a swish by Lions. She is from Harvey. Most of Delgado's players are from the New Orleans metro area. Looks like the player that's furthest away is from Vacherie, Louisiana, and St. Rose. Second foul shot is good. And Delgado gets the first points of the game. With 16:43 to go in the first half, Gulf Coast trying to respond. Now it's Hart. As they swing it around, Mulaney Nicky for three. That shot no good. Nix tried to get the rebound, but it goes out of bounds and over to Delgado. You watch Mulaney Nicky, she's got a kind of a Jamal Wilkes feel to her jump shot. If you're an old school NBA fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. 16:25 to go, Delgado leading by a bucket. And it does look like both teams a little rusty here. Not the intensity you see, we definitely saw there at the end of December with the Lady Bulldogs. And that turnover will bring it back to Gulf Coast, trying to get the first points of 2013. Delgado setting up in a 2-3 zone. Shamika Hart, top of the key, swinging it around to Nicky. Nicky cross-court pass to Hart. Jacks up a three, back iron, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds and over to Delgado. So we played 5 minutes and still no score by the Lady Bulldogs. Delgado got 2 foul shots. And they're working on their end. It's Green over to Shepard. Shepard looked like she walked, no call there. And the ball goes out of bounds. Yeah, you can tell that 3 weeks played a huge factor in the tempo and the execution for both teams here, painfully early. Now LaPrecious Thompson brings it up for the Bulldogs over to Nicky. Nicky inside, Presley Owens. Works inside, layup is no good. Rebound kicked around and rolls out of bounds, and that's going to go to Gulf Coast. So Nicky with the inbounds pass. Let's see if Lady Bulldogs can get on the board here. We'll get it to Owens. Out to Thompson, and they'll set up the offense. Back inside to Owens. Pass knocked away and out of bounds. It'll still be the Lady Bulldogs ball, and I believe no, that's not a foul. That's 23 seconds on the shot clock. Nicky out to Thompson, gets it in. Marquia Nix, inside, great inside pass to Presley Owens. Still can't get it to fall. And back the other way comes Delgado. Still 2-0. Now a long three by Allie Shepard, front iron. Nicky with the rebound over to Shamika Hart. Now to LaPrecious Thompson. Played 6 minutes, no field goals made. Just 2 foul shots by Delgado. 15 on the shot clock. Kick it over Shamika Hart. This three off the back iron, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Nix. Hart gets her own rebound and puts in the basket for the Lady Bulldogs to tie us up. Shamika at 1 point this year is averaging about 16 points per game for Gulf Coast. Getting ready to check in is Brittany Jones, a sophomore from Union, Mississippi, at the next stoppage of play. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense by the Lady Bulldogs. Now driving inside and a nice move, Jacqueline Breland for Delgado. 14 minutes left, first half. They lead by a bucket. At the other end, it's Hart. Out to Thompson, over to Nicky, inside to Owens. And that pass knocked away. Now Jones will come in. Also coming in for Delgado is Brianna Taylor. Presley Owens will take a break for Gulf Coast. 13:57 to go first half. Delgado up 4-2. Now Nicky, the inbounds pass to Jones. Over to Thompson. Over to Nicky. Cross court to Hart. Hart, top of the key for three. Back iron no good. Good position by Jones, but couldn't handle it. Nix with the rebound. Drives it in with a nice layup for the Lady Bulldogs. In the games where Gulf Coast has been successful, Nix, Owens, and Hart have been the leading scorers. And we may or may not see Yasmin Nelson tonight. She had an H. chloride deal. That's a gastrointestinal issue. And she's still trying to recover for that. She had it over the Christmas break, and I've had that, and it is very tough to get over it. Now Delgado on the inbounds pass. And they forgot about the shot clock. So Gulf Coast will take over. 13:14 to go first half. We're tied at 4 here on Bulldog Live. Now Gulf Coast working back the other way. Nicky across the way to Thompson. Over to Hart. Hart, another three-pointer. That one's good. If Shamika gets hot, look out. She's got 5 of the Bulldogs' 7 points so far. Delgado working it back the other way. Allie Shepard out front. Now you're starting to see the intensity pick up after both teams kind of feeling each other out early on. It's Raven Lyons driving it in, but she is fouled, and I think that foul is going to be on Nix, and it is. That's her first personal of the game, the team's second. And Raven Lyons going to the line, shooting 2 for Delgado. First one on the way, rattles around, and no good. Lady Bulldogs this year trying to get back to the postseason. They barely missed it last year. The year before made a nice run at the state tournament before bowing out at the Region 23 event. Second foul shot is good. And the Lady Dolphins lead it by 3. And Delgado also making a couple of changes in their personnel as Gulf Coast comes back the other way. 12:26 to go. First half. Kick it inside to Nix. Nix to Brianna Jones, who was double teamed, and the ball goes out of bounds. Brianna Jones does a nice job inside, rebounding. Moves pretty well, too. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Nix. Nix with the drop step through 2 people, no good. Jones had the rebound, but lost it on the inbounds line, and that'll go to Delgado. 12:12 to go first half, 7-5. Gulf Coast leading. And there's what you call a phantom pass by Jacqueline Breland. Thought somebody was going to be there, but they weren't, and that's a turnover. And the ball goes over to the Lady Bulldogs. Delgado sticking to that 2-3 zone. The Bulldogs trying to work around it. The teams that can shoot can beat a zone really well. Now Hart open. That shot tipped. Rebound to Nix. Nix gets her own rebound, follows the shot. Out to Nicky, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Nicky. Nicky for 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound, Delgado. Now they're bringing it back in transition. Kicking it inside to Breonna Taylor. Shakir Braxton now into the game for Delgado. And they have 13 seconds on the shot clock. They're down by 2. Now bringing it inside is Taylor. And that shot's no good. Rebound Gulf Coast. Now Thompson inside to Jones. And Jones lost control, and that'll go over to Delgado. A lot of turnovers here early. As Presley Owens comes back in. And is going to give Mulaney Nicky a break. Nicky played hard the first 10 minutes of this contest. And the Lady Bulldogs here looking for a breakout season, as we said. Went to the playoffs a couple of years ago. Was very close last year. And come in with an 8-3 record. Halfway done here in the first half. A low-scoring affair. The Weathers Wenzel Center. The Gulf Coast in kind of a 3-2 matchup deal. Precious Thompson out front. Now the long one for 3 by Lions is true, and Delgado up now 8-7. Lions came off a quasi-screen, got open, and nailed the jumper. Now Gulf Coast working hard over to Thompson. Thompson to Nix. Nix, a wide lane to the bucket. Scores and 1. She'll go to the line. Like Presley Owens moved out. Nix had a perfect lane in there. And she's got a chance at a 3-point play. Marquia, one of the sophomore leaders of the Lady Bulldogs this season. And she nails the foul shot, and the Bulldogs back up by 2. Now Delgado at the other end. Wide open's Allie Shepard. That one off, and an air ball. Sometimes when you're open like that, those are the hardest shots to make. You get to a point and you say, oh my gosh, I'm so wide open, I can't believe it. Next thing you know, you're throwing up a brick. So Gulf Coast coming back the other way, leading 10-8. Thompson out to Nix. Nix to LaPrecious. To Hart. Hart to Nix. Nix inside to Jones. Jones with the layup. And in. And now the offense starting to get rolling as we get deeper here into the first half. The other way, that's Shepard for Delgado. To Braxton. Back out to Shepard. Guarded by Presley Owens. .9:13 to go first half. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lindsey Green inside, and that layup no good. Good rebound by Shepard. The layup no good. No one's the rebound for Gulf Coast. Coming back the other way, they'll pick up the tempo. Thompson tried to go inside to Nix. After it got kicked around, the Gulf Coast retains possession, and LaPrecious Thompson will start over at the top of the key. 15 on the shot clock. They swing it around to Nix. Nix to Hart. Marquia Nix dials up a 3. Back iron no good. Rebound Delgado. And Diamond Scott, who was checked into the game. There's Shepard over to Breland. Breland brings it inside, takes a shot at the foul line and hits it, and we're back tied. It's a nice little inside move. Sort of a jumping foul shot. Now Presley Owens inside. Nice little floating pass to Breonna Jones for the bucket, and we'll have our first timeout of the game with Gulf Coast leading 14-10, 8:02 to go here in the first half. You see we're going to have some different angles here on Bulldog Live. We got your side view. You see head coach Melanie Stone and Lady Bulldogs going over strategy here with a 4-point lead. They're 5-0 at home this year. Hoping to make that 6-0. And don't forget, coming up Monday night, Gulf Coast hosting arch rival Pearl River. Tip-off at 6 o'clock for the ladies, 8 o'clock for the men right here on Bulldog Live. And so far for Gulf Coast, painfully early. Brittany Jones, a couple of buckets. Markia Nix with 5 points. Shamika Hart with 5. As Delgado works it out to Allie Shepard. Shepard to Breland. Breland the Lions, and that pass knocked away. Good defensive hustle by the Lady Bulldogs with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Delgado trying to inbound it. They kick it out to Shepard. Wide open for 3. Front iron tipped away. Now in transition, Shamika Hart. 2-on-2. Keeps it herself. Layup is no good. Rebound kicked around and going the other way is a foul. That's going to be on the Lady Bulldogs. And I believe that's on Nix. That's her second foul of the first half. I thought that might be a chance for the Bulldogs to score in transition, something Melanie Stone really likes to see, likes that up-tempo game by her squad. Now Delgado's Allie Shepard, this time the 3. She's been close but can't get it to hit. Nice rebound by Lions, and she hits the layup for Delgado. Excuse me, Jacqueline Breland, check that. It's 14-12, nearing the 7-minute mark here in the first half. Thompson setting up the offense. Nix back out to Thompson, to Hart. They've played most of the game so far. Now LaPrecious with the 3, no good. Jones with the rebound, stolen away by Breland. Coming back the other way. Out front, Raven Lyons for Delgado. This is definitely what you would call a feeling out process by both teams. Haven't played in a couple of weeks, trying to knock off the rust and get into a rhythm. 4 on the shot clock. Breland inside. That one is no good by Taylor, and the rebound by Gulf Coast. Thompson coming back the other way. Nearing the 6-minute mark. Gulf Coast leading 14-12. Hart. And the Precious is going to reset the offense. Hart to Presley Owens, a little lob pass, and it goes off the backboard. Ball kicked around, picked up by Delgado. And Brianna Jones ran right into Allie Shepard, and that's going to be a foul. Jones is first of the game with 5:50 to go in the first half. Let's see what the Lady Bulldog defense can do here. Close out the first half strong. Breland passes, it gets kicked outside, but Lyons picks it up with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lyons dribbles inside, short little jumper is good, and we are back tied at 14. Now Gulf Coast trying to regain the lead here. Inside to Brittany Jones. She's fouled. She scored. She'll go to the line. And checking in for Gulf Coast is Helenisa Young, the freshman from Forest, Mississippi. Jones already with 6 points in the game for Gulf Coast. Free throw no good. Delgado with the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds, but Delgado retains possession. And we'll have another timeout here with 5:05 to go in the first half, and Gulf Coast nursing a 16-14 lead. We'll take a quick little break, reset, and be back in about 20 seconds. See head coach Melanie Stone giving some guidance to her Bulldog team. They have a 2-point lead here. Of course, they whipped Delgado 82-46 back on November 6th, but not much basketball has been played since then by either team. And at halftime, the Lady Bulldog or the Gulf Coast cheerleaders will perform, along with the young ladies from the Dogwood Girl Scout troop. I heard they practiced a couple hours for this, so that should be fun. As you see the late arriving crowd here at the Weathers-Wenzel Center. One thing, we always have really good crowds for basketball games here at Gulf Coast, especially when the division games start. Delgado will inbound after the timeout, down by 2. As we told you, their record's 9-5, but they came in on an 8-game winning streak. Now, taking the long 3 and hitting nothing but air is Breonna Taylor. And on the foul that time is Breland for Delgado. 4:48 to go first half. Bulldogs up by 2. That's Young with the jumper, no good. Rebound to Hart. That layup no good. To Young, no good. Fighting for it are the Lady Bulldogs, and finally the ball goes out of bounds and they'll retain possession. Good job there of following their shots. Wouldn't go in, but they kept fighting, and that's what you like to see when you're owned into the floor. Now Hart to Owens. Owens to Young, to Thompson, to Hart. 4-3, no good. Great job by Young. No foul called on the rebound, and the shot clock resets at 30. Now Owens thought about shooting. Now kicks the cross-court pass to Hart. That 3 is good for Shamika Hart. That's her second tray of the game. Gulf Coast now leads it by 5. Shamika from up the road in Lumberton, Mississippi. One of the sophomore leaders for Gulf Coast. Now Delgado with 10 on the shot clock. Allie Shepard guarded by Owens. And that pass picked off by Young, who's played some nice minutes on defense for the Bulldogs. Coming the other way, Hart thought about the 3, held up. Now brings it inside. Outside to LaPrecious Thompson. Over to Owens. Presley to Young. Young to Hart. Hart to Thompson for 3. Rebound kicked around and going over to Delgado. With 3:26 to go and Gulf Coast leading by 5. 3:23 to go here at the Weathers-Wenzel Center. Thanks for joining us here on Mgccc Bulldogs.com. Gulf Coast leading Delgado by 5. Now driving inside and going nowhere is Breland. Coming the other way for Gulf Coast is Thompson. Had it slapped away by Shepard. And Delgado comes out with the loose ball. Raven Lions. Out to Shepard. Shepard inside to Taylor, and Taylor hits the layup. 2:50 to go here in the first half. At the other end, Gulf Coast trying to get some more rhythm. Young again with the inside layup. She's gotten a lot of good positions to shoot. That one just off the back iron, but she will shoot 2. As we said, coming up at halftime, you'll be able to see the cheerleaders perform. And we'll take a little break, and I'll catch you up on the stats. Young's first foul shot is good. She will have another. It's her 7th point for Gulf Coast. She and Shamika Hart lead the team right now, both with 7. Second one on the way, in and out. Rebound Delgado with the score 20-16. Now taking a long 3 and hitting the front iron is Raven Lyons. Rebound by Young for Gulf Coast. Now checking into the game for Gulf Coast, Kendra Hall. Kendra over to the Young. Now Hall with the 3, no good. Rebound Delgado. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the first half, Gulf Coast leading by 4. Shepard takes it inside, tries a pass, and Young comes up with another steal. That's her second tonight. Now inside 2 minutes, pass inside to Brittany Jones. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Presley Owens for 3, no good. Rebound Delgado. Shepard trying to get the layup. She does for Delgado. Now Melanie Stone wants a 30-second timeout to make sure her team is all on the same page heading towards halftime. As we said, we'll be doing 5 or 6 of these here on MGCCBulldogs.com. The big one coming up January 14th as Pearl River comes to town. That'll be the first South Division games since the Christmas break. The men are 2-0 in the division, the ladies at 1-1. We're slated to do the East Central game on January 17th. The Jones game on the 22nd. The Colin game January 31st, and East Central on February 11th. Actually, that January 17th game, I said East Central, that one's on the road. And who knows, some playoffs, postseason. We're kind of like a box of chocolates from Forrest Gump. You never know what you're going to get. You're going to get quality, that's for sure. Presley Owens for 3, and the sophomore from Van Cleve nails it to up the lead to 5. That's her first bucket of the game. And Delgado coming back the other way. Lady Bulldogs trying to finish the first half strong. And traveling called on Delgado. Actually, that was more of a travel and a double dribble. Whatever the case, it's a turnover, and Gulf Coast will have it. With less than a minute to go here in the first half and a 5-point lead. Now Shamika Hart with 18 on the shot clock. To Kendra Hall. Kendra takes it in, lays it up, no good. Jones with the rebound, and she is fouled. And she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul on Kiera Jackson of Delgado. So Brittany Jones shooting 2. The first one, no good. Let's see if the Lady Bulldogs can finish here on a little bit of a run. The second one, no good. How about Helenisa Young fighting for the loose ball? Jump ball call, but the possession arrow going to Delgado with 33.7 left here in the first half. And Gulf Coast leading by 5. Hart guarding Lyons. There's a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Lyons trying to get a pick, but it won't work. Now 10 on the shot clock, 12 on the game clock. And the little jumper is no good. And fighting for the rebound, to Bulldogs. The long shot by Lions, no good. And just before the time expired here in the first half, we're going to have a foul called. And that one on Helenisa Young. That's her first foul of the game. But this should be interesting. They are not in the bonus. And they're putting .8 on the game clock, so that's how fast Delgado will have to get it in and get a shot off. Not impossible, but kind of tough. So let's see what happens here. Lions does get the shot away, and it's no good, and that's how the first half ends, with the Lady Bulldogs leading 23-18 over Delgado. And now we'll turn it over to the Lady Bulldog cheerleaders and the Dogwood Girl Scouts as they perform for halftime. And in a few minutes, we'll get you caught up with the stats. 23-18, Gulf Coast leading here on Bulldog Live.
Number one. They said it was number one. It's already in there. It's all set. No, I don't know. No, it's right there. Okay. It's track number one. They said. I got to bring Shelly to Mike to introduce him. Look. I'll tell you when. All right. Keep an eye out for him. All right, whatever he says.
As useless as Bennett.
Hey, tell Paul you can go ahead and I'm going to camera network switch sides. Give me a break. Come on, man, give me a break. to go ahead and send it?
And welcome back to the Weathers Winsell Center. Gulf Coast leading 23-18 as we get ready to start the second half of action. What's coming up after this, men's action between Gulf Coast and Delgado. So stick around for that. First half scoring leaders, Shamika Hart had 7 points, including 2 3-pointers. Brittany Jones also had 7 for the Lady Bulldogs. Marquia Nix with 5, Presley Owens with 3. And Gulf Coast will take it in to start the second half, now going from right to left. Lainey Nicky back in. She started the game, and right off the bat, a little clock issue. We'll get our scoreboard camera back lined up here in just a second. Dana Foray. I'm blaming it on Dana. She's over there taping the Bulldog, the men's ankles. Actually, it's over there in a spot where if it just gets nudged a little bit, it gets off, but we'll fix it. Meanwhile, Nick's inside, and a foul called on Delgado. That's Kiera Jackson. And Gulf Coast will inbound it. Presley Owens out to Thompson. Out to Hart. To Thompson, top of the key. Over to Nikki. To Hart. Shamika for three, and she drains it. That's her third tray of the game, and Gulf Coast now up by 8. Trying to put some distance between themselves and Delgado. At the other end, it's Shepard with the short jumper. No good. Nikki with the rebound. Here come the Lady Bulldogs the other way. A bucket puts them up by 10 in the opening moments here. Inside pass to Owens, brings it in. Layup no good. Nix with the rebound and the putback. And the Lady Bulldogs indeed up by 10, 28-18. Delgado inside. Short jumper is no good, and rebound is kicked out of bounds. Nix had it but lost it. And Delgado will get another shot here. Starting the second half for Gulf Coast is Mulaney Nikki Hart. That three-pointer no good. Nice job by Owens with the rebound. Coming back the other way, Gulf Coast, LaPrecious Thompson going all the way. The layup no good. Rebound Delgado by Brianna Taylor. Now they're trying to pick up the tempo, going the other way. It's Shepard with the layup, no good. Owens again. Presley using that 6-1 frame to get the rebound. It's Owens, Thompson, Hart, Nikki, and Nix in the game for Gulf Coast. Now the pass inside to Owens. Nice job. She hits the layup. And the Lady Bulldogs now up by 12. Presley with 5 points in the game. Lady Bulldogs have scored the first 7 points of the second half and lead 30-18. Now Lions for Delgado. Making the drive is Breland, no good. Rebound to Hart. Lady Bulldogs on the 7-0 run, trying to make it some more. Hart with the rolling layup, and it's good. Shamika with 13 points to lead the Lady Bulldogs. It's a 9-0 run to start the second half for Gulf Coast. They're up 32-18. Delgado trying to get something going here. They got 9 seconds on the shot clock. Breland, the pass inside, kicked around, stolen by Gulf Coast, and they regain control. Long pass to Hart. Hart to Nix, just out of her reach, and it'll be Delgado's ball with 16:44 to go, and Gulf Coast comfortably in front now, 32-18, and on a 9-0 run to start the second half. Gulf Coast trying to improve to 9-3 on the year. And off to a good start here in the second half. Taking the shot for Delgado is Lindsey Green. That's no good. Lady Bulldogs coming the other way. Now Nix over to Thompson. Plenty of time to work on the shot clock. Nikki to Owens. Owens inside to Nix. She's hacked. And she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Lady Bulldogs 2 of 5 from the free throw line so far in the game. Nix with 7 points. Make it 8. Glad you're joining us here on Bulldog Live as we kick off the 2013 portion of the basketball season. Second one on the way, and it's good. Marquia with 9. Lady Bulldogs on an 11-0 run and leading 34-18. Delgado still looking for a bucket here in the second half. And checking into the game for Gulf Coast, Amanda Evans. Amanda getting some work in. And that shot's good by Diamond Scott. And Delgado gets their first bucket of the second half. Amanda Evans, freshman from Wiggins, in the game for Gulf Coast. Speaking of Amanda, she shoots a three and drains it. So Amanda Evans, nice job coming off the bench for Gulf Coast. "15 minutes to go, second half. Gulf Coast up by 17, 37-20. And now the steal coming back the other way is Thompson. Thompson bounced past to Hart. Hart underneath and gets it to go. And a timeout called by Delgado. How about the Lady Bulldogs starting the second half on a 13-2 run? They lead at 39-20. And very quickly have turned this into a runaway with 15:01 to go in regulation. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if we will see these Lady Bulldogs in the postseason. Looks like Melanie Stone, there's Pete Georgian, Brooke Eccles really have this team locked in. Because when you play an up-tempo style of game, it's easy to get out of control, but so far this season, Gulf Coast has done a nice job staying in control, reeling it in enough on both sides, on offense and defense. Let's see what else is going on out there in the world of Twitter. If you watched the national championship game last night, and in the NCAA between Notre Dame and Alabama, wasn't much of a game with Alabama running away with it. I was following a lot of stuff on Twitter, and the big thing that was trending was Alabama's domination and A.J. McCarron's girlfriend. We won't have anything like that here, but so here's some other scores from around the world of JUCO basketball. Baton Rouge and Colin are tied at 54 heading into overtime. Of course, Colin, their ladies team, one of the MACJC South Division powerhouses, and this season no different. Back in action now. Delgado down by 19. So Lady Bulldogs keep that intensity up on defense. It's Allie Shepard out front for the Lions. Or for the Dolphins, rather. That was Raven Lions with the three-pointer. For Delgado, 39-23, Gulf Coast leading by 16. Now inside Presley Owens. Nice little floating pass. And Brittany Jones cashes in on another layup. Brittany with 9 points this evening for Gulf Coast. At the halfway point of the first half, Lady Bulldogs shook off the rust as there's a layup by Scott for Delgado. As I was saying, the Lady Bulldogs really picked up the tempo, got a 5-point lead, and came out on that 13-2 run to start the second half. Now Amanda Evans, another three-pointer, no good. Good position by Jones, kicking it back out to Evans, to Owens. Good ball work. Shot won't go. Rebound by Scott, Diamond Scott of Delgado. Now that's Lions for three, no good. Shamika Hart with the rebound, stolen away, and backcourt violation called on Jacqueline Breland. It'll be the Lady Bulldogs ball. Gulf Coast up 41-25 now on Delgado. Thompson out front, inside to Owens. He's done a nice job there distributing the ball from that position. Evans Now a little pick set by Owens, giving Thompson a shot. No good. Jones and Lyons fighting for the rebound. And that's going to go to Delgado. With 12:58 to go here in the second half. And don't forget the men's game on tap about 15 or 20 minutes after this one is complete. Lady Bulldogs win this. It would be their third straight win dating back to December. And Allie Shepard, she does a little lob pass inside, but the layup won't go for Delgado. Coming back the other way is Hart. The 2-on-3. Shamika falling away layup, no good. Jones had it, lost it. Delgado with the rebound. Now they kick it down to Diamond Scott. Scott with the layup and the bucket. Delgado now finding a little bit of rhythm with 12:15 to go, trying to eat into this Lady Bulldog lead. Evans still in the game, inside to Owens. Owens follows her shot, can't get the rebound. Delgado comes back with it. Going the other way. 41-27 is your score. Inside 12 minutes to go in the second half. And we're going the other way. Allie Shepard called for the foul, and Gulf Coast will get the ball. 13th foul of the second half for Delgado. Centered over there in the, I guess you could call it the City Park region of New Orleans. Kind of between City Park and the lake, I guess you could say. The Bulldogs working inside. Presley Owens, nice position. Can't hit the rebound. Delgado comes up with it, and Allie Shepard. The other end, Raven Lyons over to Breland. Breland, a little pump shot off the front iron. She follows her shot, does a nice job. Shepard with the rebound. Three-pointer won't go, and the Gulf Coast comes up with it. LaPrecious Thompson bringing it back down. Hart over to Thompson. To Evans. Evans inside to Nix. The pass too high and out of bounds. It'll go over to Delgado. .10:48 to go. 41-27, Gulf Coast leading. They open the second half on that 13-2 run to take control of the game. Now that three-pointer off the iron by Delgado. Breonna Taylor jacked it up, and now we have a loose ball foul on Shamika Hart. That's her first foul of the game, and the team's first of the second half. In fact, Gulf Coast, I think, only 5 fouls on the whole contest, so they've played good aggressive defense without getting into foul trouble. Now Helenisa Young back in for Gulf Coast. That shot an air ball by Delgado, coming back the other way. LaPrecious Thompson with it, and they'll set up on offense. Gulf Coast really hasn't been running that much in this game, and Young had the ball and called for walking. Usually, when it's really clicking, you see a lot more of those transition buckets by the Lady Bulldogs. But so far, just a couple. But they've done a nice job with their half-court offense. You see on the screen our camera on the scoreboard is off a little bit. Well, we'll get that set up as the ball goes out of bounds. It's 41-27 Gulf Coast. 10:01 to go, second half. Just remember, folks, we're working out a few bugs here early in 2013. But it's all good. It's all good for the Lady Bulldogs as they lead it here over Delgado. And Shepard, Amanda Evans on her. Thompson on Breland. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense forces a turnover. Thompson coming the other way. 3-on-1 over to Nix, and the layup. Nice job by Gulf Coast that time, using the numbers on the break to get the bucket. 43-27, 9:25 to go. Gulf Coast leading. Now Shepard outside. They kick it over to Breland. Breland out to Shakir Braxton. Getting ready to check in for Gulf Coast is Kendra Hall. And traveling on Delgado. They've had several turnovers so far this evening with 9:05 to go. And a turnover on the inbounds pass. A little mental lapse by Gulf Coast. Allie Shepard, the long three, no good. Rebound Delgado. Now another three by Lyons. That one no good. And a good job by Young with the position. And the rebound coming back the other way. We'll get that scoreboard clamor going here in a second. Or maybe we'll just keep it like that as a quasi 3D shot. Shamika Hart for three. She has found her range in this game. That's her fourth three-pointer. And the Bulldogs lead back up to 19, 46-27 with 8:22 to go. Now Shepard. And that shot no good. Nix with the rebound. She controls it for Gulf Coast. Hart bringing it back. Shamika leading the team with 18 points. Now that's Kendra Hall with the shot, no good. Nix with the rebound. And now Hall got a little too much momentum, and she's called for the charge. Kendra, the freshman from Poplarville, Mississippi. It's her first foul. As we said, the one thing you like if you're a Lady Bulldog fan, the way they've controlled themselves and not getting into foul trouble here against Delgado. Yeah, the scoreboard camera's back in action. We aim to please here at Bulldog Live. 7:35 to go. Lady Bulldogs up by 19. Shepard for three. Well, she puts some air under it when she shoots. Nix coming the other way. Marquia in some transition trouble there with Lyons, and Lyons got the jump ball called, but I believe the possession arrow will go back to Gulf Coast. It's Hall and Evans working. Over to Nix, to Hart, to Evans. Shoots a three, front iron. Rebound Delgado coming back the other way. And Delgado will call a timeout. Try to make this last 7:04 mildly interesting with Gulf Coast leading 46-27. So I'm not sure what that was. I don't know if that was a timeout or not. But anyway, we're back in action. And that layup by Diamond Scott goes in for the Lady Dolphins. In a couple of minutes, we'll get a shot of Mack, who has entered the building. Just like Elvis left the building, Mack entered as the three-pointer by Hart goes off the iron and over to Delgado. Mack's a puppy, but looks like he's already gained about 30 pounds since we got him in November. And now kind of sloppy there. A steal, then a steal back. 6:18 to go. The Bulldogs are up 46-29. Coach Melanie Stone wants her team to keep playing hard as Young hits the short jumper. Now, Lanisa, that's her first bucket of the game. Usually she's a stalwart on defense there. getting the shot to fall, taking the lead back up to 19. Shepard throws it to absolutely no one. And Gulf Coast will take over. Been that kind of night for Delgado. Unless they cut into this 19-point lead with 5:49 to go, they're going to fall to 9-6 on the year, and their 8-game winning streak will be snapped. Thompson to Young, little inside-outside game out to Hart. That three-pointer no good. And Delgado's Diamond Scott called for an over-the-back foul on Marquia Nix. Fourth team foul on the Lady Dolphins. Presley Owens back in the game for Gulf Coast. So it's Owens, Hart, Thompson, Young, and Nix. Shamika thought about a three. Sent it to Thompson instead. Now Presley, wide open baseline jumper. Bounces around, no good. And Delgado comes up with the rebound. Now out front, the long three off the back iron by Taylor. And coming back the other way is Gulf Coast. Comfortably in control, 48-29, the 13-2 run to start the second half. The difference in this ball game, Gulf Coast led by 5 at halftime. Now Hart with the jumper off the glass, it's good. Shamika with another bucket. If you're playing horse on a shot like that, you got to call glass or else it doesn't count. 21 for Hart to lead Gulf Coast. Long three, no good by Lyons. And coming the other way is LaPrecious Thompson. Remember, Gulf Coast didn't score until 5 minutes into the game. Both teams trying to shake off the rust in this tune-up. For Gulf Coast to tune up before Mgccc South Division action. This year, the state tournament will be at the men's South Division winner. Owens, nice pass inside. Nix couldn't grab it. And coming the other way is Shepard for Delgado. And she'll jack up a three. Finally, she hits one. I mean, those are moon shots she's been shooting today. She finally gets one to fall. 50-32, 3:45, and counting. Hard over to Owens on the other end. Presley inside to Young. Back out to Presley. Wasn't expecting it, and that's a turnover. Coming back in, Brittany Jones. Brittany's had a solid game for Gulf Coast. Young taking a break. Brittany Jones, 9 points this evening for Gulf Coast. A lot of those on layups. That shot by Delgado, no good. Jones with the rebound, camped out underneath the bucket. Now Thompson coming back the other way for Gulf Coast, leading 50-32 over Delgado. Lady Bulldogs will up their record to 9-3 if they can finish this last 3 minutes strong. Inside to Jones, nice little drop step. Jumper's no good. Rebound Delgado. And Lindsey Green bringing it the other way. Shepard, another orbiter, no good. She gets her money's worth on those three-pointers. 2:35 remaining. Presley inside to Nix. Nix tried to beat the double team. Can't, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the line and shoot two. Marquia Nix averaging about 14 points per game for Gulf Coast. I'm saying about because it was around 16, but I didn't have all the games tabulated. So I'm kind of interpolating, as they say. First foul shot, no good. She'll get another. And don't forget the men against Delgado coming up in about 15 or 20 minutes here on Bulldog Live. Second one on the way, rattles around and falls for Marquia. Marquia has 12 points for Gulf Coast. That lead's been hovering around 19 for quite a while here in the second half. As Breland hits the three for Delgado, cut into it. Too little, too late, though. Heading to the 2-minute mark of the second half. Really a workmanlike performance by Gulf Coast here in their first action of 2013. Now Thompson to Hart. 4 on the shot clock, but Shamika traveled, and that'll be a turnover. See if we could set up an interview with Mac over there standing by the door. We'll get a shot of him in a minute when we get a chance. I wonder if Mac's getting used to being the Bulldog mascot. You know, there's always a transition period when you take over responsibility as big as that. 51-35, the Bulldogs comfortably in front. Thompson on defense. Shot blocked by Nix. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. That one won't go for Green. Shepard can't get it to go. And it goes out of bounds to get Delgado with 1:10 left. Now long three by Breland, no good. Good position by Jones. Brittany's done a nice job tonight getting position right there under the basket for Gulf Coast. Less than a minute to go. As the Lady Bulldogs wrap this one up, leading 51-35, they'll go to 9-3 on the year. And they'll extend their mini winning streak to 3 in a row as the kick inside to Nix. She scores, she's fouled, she'll go to the line. Marquia with 14 points on the night. Make it 15 as she hits the foul shot. She's got 15. Shamika Hart led the team tonight. 4 3-pointers. Shamika with 20. 20 seconds to go. Down to 15, 2 on the shot clock, and they were lucky to get that one off, and that's a shot clock violation. And Gulf Coast will finish this one and walk out of here with a solid victory. See Coach Stone. A 19-point victory for Gulf Coast, 54-35. They defeat Delgado to sweep the Lady Dolphins on the season. And as we said, up the record to 9-3. Lady Bulldogs have won 3 straight and are 6